Uh, Assalamu alaikum. This is Mohammed Ruzhan. So this is my PSM2 presentation for my project, which is titled as Research Grant Finder. This is a system development project, and my honorable supervisor is Professor Dr. Mohammed Shaizan bin Osman. So these are the contents for my presentation now. So let's jump straight into the contents. So first is problem background. Problem background is the reason of this software development. So the problems that the researchers especially face is they need to search for grants while applying for grants. They need to search for grants from multiple websites manually. This causes them to lose a lot of their time, and they get less time to focus on their researches, and more time they have to give for the finding the grants, because without the grants, it's not possible to conduct our research properly. And so the researchers cannot get the necessary information about grants. And there is an existing for the UTM lecturers. There is a existing research management website, but that's kind of manual. Yeah, the researchers after finding the grants have to key in the grants, the details, uh, uh, and then they can see the grant in their dashboard. So they cannot also customize the grants according to their needs. I mean, there may be some websites which provide grants only about a specific topic, or only from specific organizations and countries as well. And so in this way, the lecturers of the researchers, they miss on important funding opportunities. They cannot filter their interests, grant types, and find grants according to the suitable deadlines. And also there is no any websites which can show the visual representation of the different grants. So the project aim, so there comes our project aim, which is to develop a system that will help the researchers to view the grant statistics through visualizations and search for grants according to their specific requirements. So the project objectives are to study the requirements of the research grant finder system in terms of its usability and functionality. To propose the design of the system by selecting the appropriate design pattern, to design the database structure and the user interface. To develop a system that meets all the requirements of the different category of users and that follows the selected design pattern and models. To test the system using software testing tools, check if the system is able to carry out the functionalities and meet the requirements of the stakeholders. Okay, then comes the methodology. The methodology that I used for developing the system is the agile methodology. Agile is the development takes in place in iterations, where each iterations are also called sprints. So the basic development life cycle, software development life cycle, which is like requirements, uh, uh, then requirements analysis, design, and then development, testing, feedback. So all these steps happen in every iteration of uh, every sprint of an agile methodology. So the development is carried out in sprints, and the changes also are occurred in sprints. So this is very suitable methodology because the code can easily be changed, the new functionalities can be easily added, and the testing is done every iterations for the functionalities that are developed. So this is a comparative analysis of with some of the existing systems which are somewhat similar to the research grant finder system, though there are some differences. The three websites which are Grant Forward, NIH Grants, and Grants.gov. These are the grant providing. They contain the grant data of different grants, the details, and the organizations, and people can go through these websites to apply the grants only available in these websites only. So, but Research Grant Finder is a website which combines all the grants from the different websites, including the NIH grants and grants.gov as well. So, web, scra- uh, web scraping is not used in most of them. Research Grant Finder is solely depends on web scraping for the data. And another unique feature of Research Grant Finder is the dashboard analysis, which is not found in the current systems that are available now. So with this analysis, the users can get a more interactive view of the grant's status and details. So this is the use case for my project, which consists of three actors, and you can see the details of the use case, and it was also discussed in PSM1. So now comes the implementation. So for implementation, first let's talk about the architectural pattern, which I used was MVC. MVC divides the model, the views, and the controllers into different separately, so that it's easy for the coding and also to locate the files and so on. So the views consisted of basically the okay, so we can say it in the technologies used as well. So technologies used that I used was Puppeteer, which was one of the main technology that I had to use. Puppeteer is a library of uh, JavaScript, which is basically used for scraping. So as my application solely relied on data from the scraping, so I had to use Puppeteer to get the data from the targeted websites. And then we have React.js for the visualization purposes, for the components, the charts, and so on. And Node.js was used for the backend API makings and the backend logics as well. And then for database, we use MongoDB, uh, which is used to store the grants informations in the database and also the users informations and to save the grant details as well. So yeah, let's talk about the progress one. So in progress one, uh, I had to implement the system structure and check on the target websites, install the necessary libraries and dependencies that I need for my system, and implement the scraping module for extracting data. I had to check on the inspect the target websites and see which data I should extract from them. Then set up the controllers for the scraping, create the some of the front end React components for login and then for create user and so on. Then implement the sidebar and the top bar, which is used in most of the pages in my system, and then modifications after finishing the iteration, and last implement the visualizations for grants gov website. So after progress one, some of the visualizations for the grants gov website was ready after scraping them. So in progress one, I introduced the user roles. So the admin had some exclusive features, and the normal users were not allowed to use those features. Introducing a token for authentication and session, and then I created the Mongoose models for storing the user informations and the grants details in the MongoDB database, and then load the grants from the database and showing in the grants list, introducing the searching functionality for searching the grants in the grants from the grants list. This data is also coming from the database. Then implement the visualization of the NIH website, which is the another target website for me, where I am extracting the data using Puppeteer web scraping. So make changes to the scraping module for filtering. So sometimes the websites, they made some changes in this inside them. Sometimes the grants, uh, some grants got deleted because they got expired. So I had to filter the scraping process by making some changes in the coding and filtering. And then setting up the backend roads was also in among the tasks in progress too. And finally, the creating the bar chart, pie chart, and the components of the for visualization after filtering. So my project outcome is the proper UI flow of the system is ensured. Users can view the extracted grants in the form of list. Users can also filter the grants using the keywords by using the search functionality. The only admin can start the scraping process by clicking on the buttons. And the grants is also the count is also displayed in the screen. Then data is successfully visualized in the form of graph and charts. A dashboard is created with all the extracted information, and those are visualized for easy analysis of the users. So here we can see some of the user interfaces of my system. So this here is a create user interface, which is exclusive to admin only. Admin adds users and only those users can access the system, the dashboard. So this is the login screen after user has been created by the admin. So he has to log in through this. And this is one of the grants offered, grants list that is found after extracting the website. This is particularly from NIH. And here we can see some of the analyses. One is in donut chart. This data that you can see in the list, this data is being visualized here after some pre-processing and filtering. Then this is the bar chart is another kind of analysis. So after the system development, there comes the testing. So the testing technique that I used is black box testing. So you can see here, one kind of testing is given for the use case, a login. So and then in the image you can see that it's successfully executing the test expected result, which is also, I mean, the expected result is being executed, and it's showing that invalid email when the user enters an invalid email. So then another testing technique was user acceptance testing, which was performed by an admin, by a stakeholder as an admin. So he went to the scraping page, which is exclusive to the admin, and it opened only for the admin. So, and he clicked on the scraping button to start the scraping, and the scraping process started. And after starting, it completed with a success message to the admin. So yes, that's also a pass. And so that's it from me. So this is the end of my presentation video. I would like to thank everyone for helping me throughout this journey. And I would also like to thank my supervisor for guiding me through PSM1 and PSM2, both of them. Also like to thank my friends for helping me and motivating me. And yeah, that's it for me. Thank you.